Ladies, how intuitive are we? How good are we at making choices? Are we really making the best choices for ourselves, or are we making them prematurely before we get all the information? That's what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. So to begin today's conversation, I want to share a video with you.
I think 50% of marriages fail.
One is because people don't select well. They select based on chemistry and their blueprint of like someone gives me butterflies, as opposed to having the tough conversations about what do we believe a life well lived is? What is our stance on children? What is our stance on money? What is our stance on spirituality? Like, what's our values? And what are we going to do to fight for this relationship when we have a hard time? So people don't have those conversations, and then they are not able to assess if they're actually with the right person for them. And then also people don't have the skills to make a relationship work over the long term. And people get very selfish. So we become fixated on what we're not getting, and we don't think about what we're not giving. We get in our heads, we create a lot of stories about the other person, we build up a lot of resentment. That resentment creates a lot of resistance. That resistance creates a tense physiology, and in that tense physiology, we're not attracted to each other anymore. We lose the motivation to meet each other's needs, and that's all part of the learned helplessness. And then we think, there's no better way to move forward from this than to get a divorce.
That's why I asked the question, how good are we at making decisions? Are we jumping into relationships, jumping into marriages without asking critical questions? I think a lot of times we're just kind of swept up in a whirlwind of feelings and, oh, he's amazing, he looks amazing, he's amazing to me. He spent $100 on my lunch, or various things. We're judging based on material things, whether he's able to give us these material things or these various feelings and things like that. But we don't know the character of the person. We don't know what his ultimate goals are, what his vision is for his future. We don't know what his desires are when it comes to children. We don't know what his desires are in terms of his career, how far he wants to go in the career, if he wants to begin something of his own, if he wants to retire early. All those things are very impactful to the quality of life that we have and the life that we build. So making a decision that I cannot live without this person. Essentially, when you get married, you're saying that this person is pivotal to my life. I cannot live without this person for the rest of my life. I absolutely need him or her. And if I have to live my life without them, I'm going to be in trouble. That's essentially what you're saying when you're going to get married. But how can you make that decision if you don't even know the future of this person? You don't know his desires, his goals, his dreams. You don't know much about the person other than how he makes you feel for the moment. And while I'm talking about it, it's also one of the reasons why I don't really promote dating. And I know it's very controversial to say that, but again, when I married my husband, we were nothing but friends. We never dated ourselves. And I made the sole choice of marrying him based on the character that he had. He was very hardworking, a very kind, gentle person, and he loved me, absolutely loved me. And so based upon all those things that I knew about him, I knew that he would be a great mate for me. Not just for the moment when we were fresh out of university, but also for my future, because he was thinking long term. He was working towards something. He was working towards, building something, and I knew that I could assist him in that way. And that's another thing that I want to point out in this particular video. She said we're focused on the things that we're not getting instead of the things that we're not giving. And that was very big in my mind. What am I going to contribute to this man, to his vision, to his goals, what he has for the future? How can I contribute and help him in that way to become successful and accomplished? That was very big on my mind. I did not want to be just a leech or just take advantage of him and just use him for his resources or use him for his money, and I didn't contribute anything to the relationship. I was very concerned about contributing something to his life and to the marriage as a whole. But again, these are my personal things, but I do think that they're beneficial to other women if they're thinking along that line. So I cannot emphasize enough how important it is, if you have not yet married and you are considering marriage, that you should be asking major questions. You should be asking the potential suitor what his goals are, what his dreams are. You should be examining yourself. You should be learning different things that can contribute to the success of the marriage, so that when you both come together, you're bringing different assets to the relationship that's going to ultimately make the relationship flourish. And it's not too heavy on one person to provide one aspect or the other. So those are my thoughts about that. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're engaged, you're looking forward to getting married, or you're already married. Comment below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.